welcome to the ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. My name is Kyle Tremblay, and I'm the editor-in-chief at ShowRatings.tv, a user-driven television review website. You can rate and review all your favorite shows at ShowRatings.tv, including the new... Oh, I read the wrong script, darn it. I almost got through it. I
was like, wait.
I have both copies. In case you had said no, I wrote out my other script copy, and I read from the wrong one. Okay. Starting over.
One more time.
Hello and welcome to the ShowRatings.tv Pilot Roundtable, a Southgate Media Group podcast. I'm Kyle Tremblay.
And I'm Olivia Richards.
And we're from ShowRatings.tv, where you can rate and review all your favorite TV shows, including the new series we're talking about today.
How to Get Away with Murder.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
So intense. According to ABC's website, the brilliant, charismatic, and seductive Professor Annalise Keating gets entangled with 4 law students from her class titled How to Get Away with Murder. Olivia, what did you think?
I have mixed feelings.
Ooh.
But, no, honestly, I like the tone of the show. I really, really like the tone. And, of course, like, Viola Davis just can have everything. Like, it's not even...
Can we hold a moment of silence here briefly for the careers and Emmy hopes of every other leading actress on network TV?
Thank you.
This was a powerhouse performance from Viola Davis. She was, and it wasn't like a hammy performance. This wasn't James Spader trampling over everybody in The Blacklist. Like, this was a great acting performance. And every second Viola Davis was on screen, the show was electric, and she just deserves everything. She was incredible.
All she had to do was just be in the room. She's one of those actresses that just has that commanding presence. It's not even that, like, she needs to be, like, doing anything, but just seeing her in the courtroom. First of all, them are muscles. Just her entire presence in the classroom. Like, I love that they kind of had more widescreen shots of, like, the stadium seating, and then they just, like, zoom in and have her in, like, these medium shots and have her at the board, because it just, like, it shows the presence that she has, like, with this younger cast, and just seeing her just do everything that she does was amazing to watch for 42 minutes.
Absolutely. She was like a shark in the water. Like the classroom was the water, and she was moving through it like a shark and just chomping people's heads off. Like, it was great to watch. You mentioned the four young adult leads, I guess. I feel like they might have been cast to make Viola Davis look better. Like, not that she needs it, but at the same time, it doesn't hurt, like, her Emmy bid, because I thought they were a little bit rough, maybe. A little bit.
And it's hard because it's like you think about, like, budding actors sharing a screen with Viola Davis, like, looking at her body of work and then saying, oh, like, this is my first real project, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame them, but at the same time, I felt like every moment that Viola Davis wasn't on screen, the show instantly became, like, 80% less interesting.
No, exactly.
So, needless to say, this is a massive hit. This show got bigger ratings than Scandal last night. How familiar or how into the whole Shonda Rhimes universe are you?
I wasn't, like, super, because I was never really a huge Grey's Anatomy fan, and I know, like, friends who would, like, just binge watch it, and I would walk in and I was like, oh, you're watching that. So, I don't know, like, I'm seeing her now kind of just get hit after hit after hit, and I'm getting more into watching her body of work, especially after watching her give the commencement speech at Dartmouth, I think it was. So to see such a powerhouse, career-oriented woman who kind of, like, just is so open about, like, the balance and working in this industry and just having such a voice and being able to get so many hit projects going, I think it's something really powerful to see, and it's something that we really, really need more in the television industry. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree 100%. And I saw the commencement speech too, and that made me much more interested in her, because, listen, like, I'm a guy. These shows probably aren't for me necessarily. Although I think How to Get Away with Murder is much closer than something like Grey's Anatomy to, like, sort of crossing over the gender barrier that tends to exist with Shonda Rhimes shows. I enjoyed parts of this pilot. the parts that Viola Davis was in. Um, what did you think of the decision to cut this pilot with a flash forward to a murder mystery that occurs 3 months from the actual time of the pilot? I guess.
That was the thing I had mixed feelings on, because I was like, I wasn't expecting that. So it was sort of interesting because, I mean, obviously throughout the episode, you see them continuously flash back and forward between the two things. So I think it kind of builds the intrigue, and I think it's going to keep the audience watching because it has that aspect of like, oh, what's going to happen with that? Like, you're kind of working in reverse chronological, so like you have to work your way back and find out. So it's like as these students are learning how to work themselves in a courtroom, you're learning how to work with what they're learning to kind of piece together as they're committing a crime that's about to happen.
Yes. Well, just say it. As these students are learning how to get away with murder, they are actually getting away with murder, right? Yeah. I guess on a show titled that, you kind of have to have someone actually commit a murder. So like one of the main characters, in this case 4 of the main characters. At the same time, I would be just fine if this was just a legal procedural, where every week they just worked like this week, where they take a case and they argue it and they go in and they collect evidence and, you know, Viola Davis does her thing in a courtroom and in a classroom. Like, the legal procedural aspects of this, I thought were off the charts good. Like, as good from a procedural as I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just, I thought the murder stuff was a little disorienting. And again, it didn't involve Viola Davis directly, so it was not as interesting, and we didn't have any context for it. And I guess it creates a mystery, but at the same time, I would enjoy this show just on a week-to-week basis if it was just a legal drama. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see where that goes. I don't know if it's needed. This show also had a couple fairly graphic sex scenes. I didn't know that was like a Shonda Rhimes thing. Maybe I'm just clueless.
I plumped in. I wasn't expecting it. All of a sudden, her student comes in to talk to her, and she's just like with like this really muscular guy, and I was like, damn.
It suddenly turned into a romance novel, I guess.
It just was like came out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh my god, Professor Keating can get it. Like,
yeah, she can get it. Yeah, and, I mean again, in this episode, Viola Davis yelled at kids, cried, and then got it in her office. It's like, wow, what a tour de force! Just
if that is not grounds for an Emmy nomination, then I don't know what is.
She could not film any other episodes and just submit this one and win the Emmy. I mean, everything. She did everything in this. So I guess one of the big things with these shows is that Twitter was very lively during the time, and during the time it aired. And I guess it's going to be kind of hard not to watch because this is a massive hit and everyone is talking about it. And I feel like in 2014, that's like a big deal. Like a show that like sort of unites everybody to talk about it on Twitter once a week. Are you going to keep watching this?
I definitely think so. I was not expecting it, or I was not expecting to like it as much as I did, but we were even talking about it. I'm taking a TV criticism class right now, and we're kind of talking about how women are just taking over as leads on these networks, and it is so refreshing to see not just women, but also like women of color, and seeing Viola Davis just command this entire performance. Like you said, like 80% of the show is her. And seeing that, like, it's something that is just, it needed to happen. And I think it's just setting up for an amazing season of television right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I should note, I guess announce, because this is going to be published before we make this announcement, we are doing a series for ShowRatings.tv called The Year of the Woman for exactly the reason you just outlined, which is that there are more female-led shows now than ever before, and we want to highlight some of those, and I can guarantee you that Viola Davis will be the star of one of them, and possibly more, because she is, I think, example A in how the network TV landscape is getting more female-centric, or at least more than it was in previous years. So, yeah, I mean, it's a good all-around experience, and I definitely enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to, even though I still am a little bit iffy on everything that's not Viola Davis. Basically, I mean, everything else, everything is sketchy here.
Can they just rename the show Viola Davis?
Listen, I'm not.
Have out with it.
Hashtag Viola Davis instead of hashtag How to Get Away with Murder, which is like half your characters right there. Or hashtag HTGAM. I think I missed a W in there. It's too much TV show.
Can we just grab a bunch of letters and just mush them together, and everyone will know what you're talking about?
Hashtag jumbled letters.
I love that show.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Jumbled Letters is a good pilot name. I think that's premiering on ABC later. Okay, so do you have? I mean, I guess the comparisons for this one are obvious. That the other Grey's Anatomy and Scandal, right? Like that's pretty. I mean, it airs right after those two shows. It's by the same creator. It seems like. I mean, do you have anything else for this in comparison-wise?
I was just gonna say, like, any Shonda Rhimes fan, like, this is going to be a great show. Like, this is fantastic. This woman is just on a roll. Like, she has just been getting hit after hit after hit, which is awesome.
Yes, I would say for guys, for dudes who are probably not Shonda Rhimes fans, if you're thinking about checking it out because you like mysteries, the mystery here is a little dicey. Like, this isn't Clue. Like, you're not gonna get like Sherlock. Like, you're not gonna get a really tightly told mystery story. It's kind of like the mystery in a romance novel. but at the same time, just watch for Viola Davis, honestly. Like, do I have to tell you anything else? Just do that. Watch an episode. You know, if you like legal procedurals, I feel like you're gonna love this. Like, if you like that old like Boston Legal or a show like that, like, again, this is as good as it gets as far as like courtroom scenes go. Especially if you like ridiculous courtroom scenes, which this has plenty of. So
it's fantastic, and it goes into the classroom too, because it's like the people are learning. And I actually really like how they integrated like legal jargon in a way that they didn't like have to spoon feed it to the audience.
Yes,
that was one of like my favorite, because I hate when they're like, "Oh yeah, mens rea," which obviously means ... But the way that she like whipped that student over the face with the terminology he should have known, that was beautiful. It was perfect. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah. Cosign. Me too. What a clever way for a show to give that kind of background exposition to the audience without making the audience feel stupid. You know, we just like, it's like, Wes Gibbons is stupid, not us, because we totally knew what those words meant, right?
Yeah, done. All of my legal training.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, this is a show produced by someone who knows what she's doing, and this show knows what it's doing, and even though there was a lot of ridiculousness here, including the aforementioned muscular guy who was in The Office, reappearing at the end of the episode to reveal that he's a detective, and then lying on the stand in order for Viola Davis to win the case.
I love it. It's like everyone is so messed up, and that's what I love, because like I feel like every time TV wants to talk about women, like you see it in interview after interview, and like everyone likes to use and toss around the term strong woman, but like that doesn't mean anything. Right. Like that literally is such an ambiguous term that like that doesn't define what you're talking about at all. I think what people need to see more, and what we need to see more, is complex characters and layered characters, and that's what we're getting with Viola Davis's character. Like, we know that she is so smart, and she's so intimidating, and she is like so career oriented, and you're seeing this, but like, you know, she's also vulnerable, she's manipulative, she's cunning.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said it better. That's it, the comparison that I'm seeing made a lot, and including one that was made by Casey, who reviewed this for ShowRatings.tv. You should read her review. She's a female Dr. House, Gregory House, and and I don't know that a woman has ever played that character. You know, that we've ever had that kind of complex, brilliant, and most importantly, problematic female character. Because a lot of times we get like really tough talking women, but that's all they are. They're tough talking, and they might have like a sensitive side or whatever, but they're not antagonistic. And what I really love about this character and this performance is that it's so antagonistic. She is so getting on her students and is so breaking the rules and doing bad things to win, the same way that a male protagonist on a drama would. And that is really refreshing. That's what's really cool about this, is that she gets to behave badly on this show, and it's very fun to watch.
Oh, it's fantastic.
All right, and I think I know which way we're going on this, but Olivia, thumbs up or thumbs down on How to Get Away with Murder?
2 big thumbs up.
Me too. I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep watching. If for no other reason than just to tweet about it, because it's a lot of fun and a ton of people tweet it, and everyone else should too. Yeah. All right, Olivia, how can people keep up with you?
I am on Twitter at RichardsOlivia.
All right, and that concludes this episode of the Shortings.tv Pilot Roundtable. We invite you to check out this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts at southgatemediagroup.com and to read about, rate, and discuss all your favorite shows at Shortings.tv. You can follow me on Twitter at KyleLovesTV, Olivia at RichardsOlivia, and Shortings at ShortingsTV. Until next time, thanks for listening.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.